Imagine you're stepping into a world where animals have taken over a once idyllic farm, turning its lush green fields and rolling hills into a stage for an epic tale of revolution, betrayal, and the corrupting influence of power. Welcome to Animal Farm, George Orwell's satirical masterpiece that delves deep into the nature of tyranny and the insidious ways in which it can emerge even from the most noble of intentions. Our story begins on Manor Farm, a sprawling estate nestled in the heart of England. The setting is picturesque, with its weathered wooden fences bordering fields that stretch out as far as the eye can see, dotted here and there with apple trees heavy with fruit and green pastures where cows graze contentedly. This tranquil scene is about to be upended by a group of animals who have long been oppressed under the yoke of their human owner, Mr. Action Jones, a drunkard who neglects his responsibilities and leaves the farm in disarray. The animals, led by two pigs named Old Major and Napoleon, dream of a better life free from the tyranny of their human overlords. Old Major is the catalyst for this change, a wise old boar whose eloquent speech rouses the other animals with the promise of a future where they can live in harmony without the burden of human masters. His stirring words paint a vivid picture of an animal utopia, one governed by 7 commandments that emphasize equality and fraternity among all creatures great and small. Old Major's vision is both inspiring and idealistic, embodying the best of human ideals like justice, freedom, and communal ownership. Napoleon, on the other hand, is a cunning and ruthless character who sees in the revolution an opportunity to seize power for himself. His leadership style is authoritarian from the very beginning, manipulating the situation to his advantage while subtly undermining the principles that Old Major laid out. Napoleon's rise to power is almost meteoric, as he uses his intelligence and manipulative tactics to gain control over the other animals. He appoints himself leader of the farm and begins making changes that benefit only a select few, gradually eroding the ideals of equality and fairness. The character of Squealer also plays a crucial role in this early part of the story. As Napoleon's propaganda minister, Squealer is responsible for spreading misinformation and justifying the actions of the ruling pigs to the other animals. His ability to twist facts and use persuasive rhetoric to control the narrative makes him a fascinating antagonist who embodies the power of language as a tool for manipulation. The dynamic between these characters sets the stage for the rest of the story, where the noble ideals of Animal Farm are gradually subverted by greed, fear, and the corrupting influence of power. Orwell uses this setting not just as a backdrop, but as a microcosm of society itself, exploring themes of class struggle, leadership, and the dangers of unchecked authority. As we delve deeper into Animal Farm, we'll see how the farm becomes a battleground for competing ideologies, with some animals believing fervently in the revolution's ideals, and others becoming disillusioned by the pigs' betrayal. The setting and characters introduced in this opening section are crucial to understanding the broader themes and events that unfold throughout the novel. In essence, Animal Farm is more than just a story about talking animals. It's a powerful commentary on human nature and the pitfalls of power. By using allegory, Orwell invites us to reflect on our own society and the ways in which we might be susceptible to similar forces of corruption and manipulation. So, as we continue this journey through Manor Farm, let's keep an eye out for the lessons it has to offer about the complexities of leadership, the importance of vigilance, and the enduring struggle between justice and tyranny. So, as we delve deeper into Animal Farm, we find ourselves at a crucial turning point in the story, the rise of Napoleon and his descent into dictatorship. This phase is not just pivotal for the animals on Manor Farm, it serves as a powerful allegory about how power can corrupt even the most noble ideals. Initially, Napoleon seems like a natural leader among the animals. He's intelligent, ambitious, and quick to grasp the potential of their revolution. His confidence and decisiveness inspire many to follow him. But we begin to see a darker side emerging early on when he manipulates the other pigs for his own benefit. This is most evident in his handling of Snowball, who is presented as both a visionary and a threat. Napoleon's jealousy and cunning lead to Snowball being expelled from the farm under false accusations, setting the stage for his eventual dictatorship. Napoleon's ascent to power is gradual but relentless. He starts by consolidating control over key resources and information. By limiting access to supplies and information, he ensures that he remains in a position of strength relative to the other animals. His propaganda machine begins to take shape with the help of Squealer, who becomes an expert at twisting facts to suit Napoleon's narratives. This manipulation is brilliantly portrayed when Napoleon changes the 7 commandments of animalism to fit his needs, rewriting history and creating a false version of events that justifies his actions. One of the most chilling aspects of Napoleon's dictatorship is how he employs fear and violence to maintain control. The execution of perceived dissenters, particularly the confessions under torture in Chapter 9, is a stark reminder of how power can be used to silence opposition. This act of terror has a profound psychological impact on the animals, leaving them too afraid to speak out against their leader's increasingly tyrannical rule. Napoleon also begins to distance himself from the other animals, adopting human habits and luxuries that were previously considered taboo. He wears clothes, drinks alcohol, and walks upright transformations that blur the line between animal and human. These changes are not just symbolic, they signify a complete shift in his ideology and values. What started as a revolution against oppression has now become a regime of oppression itself. The theme of corruption runs deep throughout this section of the story. It's not just about Napoleon's moral decay, but also about how easily the other animals can be misled by their own desires for comfort and security. The sheep, for example, are particularly vulnerable to manipulation. Their repetitive slogan, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad, is a perfect illustration of how simple-minded repetition can be used to control thought and behavior. This part of Animal Farm also touches on the theme of disillusionment. Many of the animals initially believe in Napoleon's vision and support him wholeheartedly. However, as time goes by, they begin to see through his lies and realize that their lives have not improved under his leadership. This realization is particularly poignant when Boxer, who has always been loyal to Napoleon, begins to question the fairness of the work assignments and the treatment of the other animals. The rise of Napoleon and his dictatorship is a sobering reminder of how quickly power can corrupt even those with noble intentions. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of vigilance in maintaining freedom and justice. As we continue to follow this story, it becomes clear that Animal Farm isn't just a fable about animals, it's a profound commentary on human nature and the complexities of leadership. So, as we move forward, let's keep an eye on how Napoleon's actions affect not only the animals, but also the broader themes of the book. It's a journey that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about power, authority, and the delicate balance between freedom and tyranny. As we approach the final moments of Animal Farm, the once idyllic utopia that was born from rebellion and hope has become a shadow of its former self. The pigs, who were meant to serve as protectors and leaders, have instead transformed into corrupt dictators. Napoleon, in particular, has become the epitome of power hunger and betrayal. His journey from a respected comrade to an absolute ruler is marked by a series of manipulative actions that strip away any semblance of democracy on the farm. Napoleon's rise to totalitarianism is gradual but relentless. He begins by silencing his opponents, especially Snowball, who is now seen as a scapegoat for all the farm's problems. The use of propaganda and fear keeps the other animals in line, with the ever-present threat of being labeled as traitors if they step out of line. The 7 commandments, which were once meant to guide the animals toward equality and freedom, are slowly twisted to serve Napoleon's interests. By changing the commandments whenever it suits him, he ensures that the animals remain compliant without question. The transformation of the farm is not just political, it is also social and economic. The pigs start living in luxury, sleeping in beds with sheets, drinking alcohol, and wearing human clothing. These actions are initially met with shock and disapproval from the other animals, but Napoleon cleverly turns these criticisms into further propaganda against Snowball. He convinces the animals that these luxuries are necessary for their leaders to maintain their strength and effectiveness. This shift not only distances the pigs from the rest of the farm community, but also begins to blur the lines between animal and human. The final scenes on Animal Farm reveal a bleak reality where the ideals of equality and fraternity have been completely abandoned. The animals, who were once united in their struggle against Jones, are now divided by fear and ignorance. They have come full circle, with Napoleon's rule mirroring that of Mr. Jones's, if not worse. The animals can no longer tell the difference between the pigs and the humans they had once revolted against. The power dynamic has shifted so dramatically that even Boxer, the loyal and hardworking horse, falls victim to its machinations. His fate is a tragic reminder of how easily ideals can be subverted by those in power. The conclusion of Animal Farm serves as a powerful critique of totalitarian regimes and the ease with which they can manipulate their subjects through fear, propaganda, and controlled information. Orwell's narrative underscores the importance of vigilance against corruption and tyranny, even when it presents itself under the guise of liberation. The book also highlights the vulnerability of collective memory and how easily history can be rewritten to serve those in power. By reading Animal Farm, we are invited to reflect on these themes and their relevance in our own world. It challenges us to question authority, to value truth over propaganda, and to never take our freedoms for granted. Orwell's dystopian vision is not just a cautionary tale about the dangers of totalitarianism, it is also a call to action to preserve the values of democracy, equality, and justice. In a world where power struggles and manipulative leaders are all too common, Animal Farm remains as relevant and impactful as ever. It reminds us that the fight for a better future is an ongoing one, and we must remain vigilant if we hope to protect it from those who would seek to corrupt it.